I'm just pressing record. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Hello. How you going? I was literally laying down on the floor 10 minutes ago, starting to film this in my head, merely because and today's date is the 21st. I think it's the 21st. It's 21st January 2024. And I had thought on and off to myself that I hadn't really given much of an update on circumstances recently. And I'm laying on the floor before literally, and this is such a good, I like to come in here, and I like to sleep. For instance, yesterday, Sunday, it was 35 degrees outside. I'm used to standing up in here. I just thought I'm going to do sitting down and just sitting down because this is a very comfortable chair. New setup. Yesterday it was 35 degrees in Sydney. It's 35 degrees, and I came down here to the garage. It's 35 degrees outside. I came in here. It was like 21 degrees. It's really cool in here. It's actually nice and cool in here. And I'm actually using this just because I don't have the overhead bulb anymore, and I just went upstairs. I thought I'll grab this just in case that's not sufficient, because I'm working on lighting. I'm working on new lighting. I'm working on getting a softbox. And hello, good afternoon, midnight Charlie Man, Patrick. I was resting on the floor. I did my back in yesterday. I was moving this chair. About 24 hours ago now, I was moving this chair, and I lifted this chair up, and right here, a muscle went really bad right here, just here. And so, actually today, we were actually supposed to be, Ethel and me today, visiting my nephew, visiting my sister, and I pulled my muscle in my lower lumbar. I pulled it over for yesterday, and I thought, I'm not going to Ethel and me tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow I'll do that. I literally just put this up a minute before I started filming. This blanket here, see? This blanket here, I put it up a minute before I started filming. I'm doing this today because I realised I hadn't done it, and there have been circumstances now, and also I realised I hadn't done a before and after shot of setting up the shelves again. Hadn't done anything like that. I hope that light is sufficient. Don't have the overhead one. And what happened was, in June last year, we reacted to a rental increase, and then by very late July I had pulled this garage apart, and that was quite sad. We had a few things happen. We were looking at properties to pay rent to, and we were going to set up a tent and a cabin, and even at one point there was one point for about a fortnight that I thought that we were going to be at Toongabbie, renting this woman's property, lady's property at Toongabbie, and putting up a really cute, I had a fantasy of buying two really huge tents, putting them on the property. At one point last year, in August, I thought pitching up a tent in Toongabbie. Well, why Toongabbie, you ask? I don't know anything about Toongabbie. Why did we choose Toongabbie? Well, we didn't choose Toongabbie. This happened to be a lot of land, and a lot of land for rent. Know nothing about Toongabbie. Never really been there before. Know where it is. Don't go there very often. Correction on that. Never go to Toongabbie. Never, ever, ever go to Toongabbie. Not that we don't go there often. We never go there. Middle of nowhere. some people in Sydney really like living there, but it's really cheap rent out there because it's about 40 minutes away from the city centre. Know nothing about Toongabbie at all. In fact, we actually passed there in the car on the way to doing something else back in July, I think it was, and I was like, okay. I said, Michelle, do you like Toongabbie? She was like, yeah, kind of. That was our reaction to Toongabbie. You know, I'm sure a few of the locals would be like, what's wrong with you, mate? What's wrong with you, mate? Man, what's wrong with you, mate? Yeah, Toongabbie. Oh. I'll give you the facts, alright. So the locals at Toongabbie would say, yeah, mate, I'm paying half the rent you're paying, and I've got five bedrooms, I've got 7 rooms in the house. Yeah, and you're in the middle of bloody nowhere. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere. 25 minutes from the Sydney CBD, you're bloody an hour away from it, you're in the middle of bloody nowhere. Yeah, Toongabbie. Never really had anything to do with the place at all, ever. It just, yeah. Yes. And that lasted, she never got back to us. Fortunately, very fortunately, she never got back to us. Okay, the inevitable slice in. Hello, I'm back for the inevitable slice in. The inevitable slice in. Upstairs, inevitable slice in. So, Toongabbie, and it was in a woman's backyard, and it was either on Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree, and people on Gumtree can be quite dodgy, or mainly in regard they never bloody get back to you, and so it would have turned out very bad for us, and those people were never meant to get back to us. This wouldn't have been good for us. And the thing is that the things never would have been the way they are now if we hadn't gone through that, ironically. And there was no point cancelling at Campbelltown past the mayor. Went out to visit some people on their property. They were okay, they were alright. It was on the edge of a big sort of bushland national park. And well, fortunately, they didn't get back to us, and we decided not to go. I decided not to go out there purely based on the guy's husband and wife, and purely based on his semi-loud personality. Actually, what it was he had a big loud voice, and I was concerned that he might do karate chop sneezing. He had a big loud voice, and it was a big loud voice, and he was a cop. And I was like, do you do karate chop? I was like, oh, I wonder if this guy does karate chop sneezes, because I've been traumatized by that. And a lot happened, and we travelled. Michelle made an investment which wasn't a good investment for X amount of dollars. It was for a certain amount of dollars, and for a cabin which it just didn't turn out. It didn't turn out, and we've had circumstances, and then through all that, it was a couple of things. It was troublesome, it was chaotic, and we were considering the rental increase, but our finances have improved. Our finances have improved a lot, and we just had this initial reaction to the rent increase, and then, so where are we now? Where are we? We didn't move. We went on a tour. We didn't move. We stayed. We looked everywhere. I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere. We were considering Penrith. Considered Kingswood. Advised against Kingswood by a very close friend. We were considering we even drove around the Windsor area, but for something else. and that might as well be on Mars. Windsor definitely is not a part of Sydney. Windsor's not a part of Sydney. Is that like okay? It's not a warm one. That's got the tungsten slider in it. That's the. This is hard white. And when I get I'm going to get a new. I think I'm going to put a soft box just there, but I'm going to make it a warm one, nice and warm. The thing about the many YouTube, well, the thing about, I think some YouTubers when they talk about the setup, they talk about the hard whites. They go for the basic stuff. It's hard white. It's not so. If you want, you can have hard white if you want. I like a softer, warmer tone. I'm warm. I'm very warm. I'm warm. I don't put that. I'm warm. I'm warm. I need the warmer tones. Warm tones for a pretty me, handsome me. We didn't move. We stayed put. We considered Belmore. I considered Wiley Park. We considered a lot of areas. We looked at all the real estate options. I think we actually saw one unit, inspected one unit, and it was terrible. It was a terrible experience, an awful experience. And what are these things in here? Let's see, it's coming off that mattress or something. June, July, August, September was exhausting, and finally, not even midway through September, I said one day, we're not moving, we're staying, we're not moving, and so slowly we began to reset up, and literally 7 days ago, maybe 8 days ago, I put these shelves back together. I put this one up first. I had to remember how to do it, and then I put that. Oh, and it's all different now. It's all different. Michelle, actually, this is actually the best setup we've ever had. And Michelle now has a section just over there, and I've pushed all this sort of forward. I'm trying to utilise the space as best as I possibly can, and yes, I have a bit of soundproofing because I've got the moving blanket is just there, okay, and I'm just trying to utilise. And this is a very comfortable chair. I'm trying to utilise this. Space as best I can. So Michelle's art studio is just on the other side of this. Oh, and because see this, turn that. Look, show you. Turn that one around. Look, what I'm trying to say is this. We turned it around. See, how's the shelf here? Look, the shelf. We just turned it on its side, and because before it was just a moving blanket. There was a moving blanket in the middle of this. It was a bit foreboding to Michelle. This was my man cave, and but this is the best we've ever had it, because putting a shelf across there is actually better. It's more cosy, and I'm used to standing up. This chair's comfy, and my back is sore, and so we didn't move. We stayed here, and yeah, we're setting up again now. This is a much better setup than last time. I might do something in the background. I don't know, for the time being I'll leave it as it is. I've still got all my materials. I've got all my materials that I had up. But one thing at a time, and we stayed. The next move will be to a house. Or the rental situation in Sydney, the rental situation in the outer west of Sydney is a bit ridiculous, and we've got some projects. In fact, I've got things I've got to squeeze into the end of this month. Things I've got to squeeze into it, and this space is always wanted an underground city of sorts, like, you know, go down 10 metres and then there's rooms underground. I've always wanted to do that. I'm thinking to myself, if I did that with a real estate agent notice, would they notice? They'd never come by here, would they notice? I did see them the other day. It was walking out the door the other day. Also, I was going to say, yes, so the other day, at the foyer door, talking to a fellow tenant. I was talking to a fellow tenant very briefly, and the real estate agent turned up. Not for us, they just turned up. Hadn't seen them. Well, there was the good one, and there was the other one. And I went straight to the other one. I haven't seen them in a year. They don't come around here, and oh yeah. What I'll do is I'll have to cut this part in two. So I've set this space up again, and I like having. Mostly, I'm just very pleased with that space in there. Do you want to see that space in there briefly? Do you want to see it briefly? I'll just lift this up. I'll take it through here briefly. Let me just lift this up. Okay. This is Michelle's stud. I think she wouldn't mind if I show it to you. I think she wouldn't overly mind too much. Oh. See, this is see that light globe there? So this is to be my section here. This is to be my section here. And Michelle's a wonderful artist. So this is her. This is I've made heaps of room for her, heaps of room, and so that's my nook in there. So you pretend that shelf there was there, but anyway, it's a very I've made this into a very nice space now. I've made this into a very nice space now. At least I think I have. Michelle thinks it's terrific. It's the best it's ever been. Come back into my nook. Back into my nook. Well, I've been able to organise so many things as well, because everything was all over the place before, and now it's not all over the place. Everything's actually organised from taxi driver, and everything's pretty. I'm looking pretty. So yes, garage is set up differently now, much better than it was before. We are utilising the space in here better, I hope so. Because before, when you walked in the door just over there, there was about 1.5 metres of space just in there, which really wasn't doing much, and there was things in there, and it was all a mess. It's still we're getting organised. Have sorted through quite a lot of stuff, and yes, have sorted through getting there. I really like this new setup. I think it's terrific. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I'm going to make my new pair of designer jeans soon. I've finished the other jeans, so I'm going to buy another pair of jeans, putting this on the front, and very good. Thank you for watching. It's actually the 22nd. Today's date is actually 22nd January 2024. It's approximately 6 p.m. 22nd of January 2024, approximately 6 p.m. Okay. Yes.